Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be quite different from what I regularly discuss with you all, which is Vedic astrology. But today I'm going to discuss a very important chapter from mundane astrology, which deals with the horoscope or chart of a nation or world in general. So because I am an Indian, I would like to discuss what all is going to happen in India, what all is happening, why it is happening according to the dasha, the transits and India's chart. Now, watch this video with a very open mind and just try to take the information in a positive manner. So, India was formed an independent country on 15 August 1947 at 12 a.m. in Delhi. So, according to these details I've made, and this is the chart which is basically used by most of the mundane astrology practitioners, which is Taurus Ascendant with Rahu in the first house and Moon in the third house in the sign of Cancer, Pushya Nakshatra. Now, India has currently started its Mahadasha of Mars actually. So, it started from 10th September 2025. Now, Mars is a very important planet in mundane astrology also because it is actually the planet which in mundane astrology also shows the military journal or the defense system. And Mars is ruling our 7th and 12th house. 7th house originally in mundane astrology is the house of war, trading, the trade that happens between countries of other people, the marriages that happen in a particular country, but mostly it can represent war. 12th house, which Mars rules again in our chart, represents secretive wars, and it represents the healthcare system, but all the secretive things that can happen in a country, the movement of our spies and all those things. Now, when Mars Mahadasha has started, so definitely because it is present in our second house and it has some major role to play, definitely. You can see that now because of Mars, people of India will become far more active and practical because Mars is a very practical planet. They just don't want false promises and, any kind of propagandas because now Mars wants real things to happen. Mars wants development. Mars wants, promises that are fulfilled. Mars doesn't want to talk about, frivolously about anything because now, and you can see that now the people of India also have started getting some kind of awareness that they want to see that their life is settled, that they are, progressing in life and not just believing on fake promises and getting fooled again and again. They doesn't want that. So India's take is going to be very practical. And now Mars, along with Mars, Rahu is also going to come from 6th February. So this conjunction of Mars and Rahu is going to play some really important role in our country's, future and progress because Rahu is present in our first house, our Lagna, in the sign of Taurus in Kritika Nakshatra, which is a nakshatra ruled by Sun. So this Rahu is actually someone which can question the government and which can actually revolt against the government. That is why you will see that after 6th February, the revolt or kind of, a rage can increase, lot of rage can increase against the government. And also because Rahu is aspecting our 5th and 9th house. 9th house is obviously a very important house of the government or the parliament. And the 5th house is of our media. It can include social media also. So Rahu can actually bring some changes in media, in social media, or it can come up with some news or some hidden things that were actually kept, totally hidden from the public. But that is going to be out there. And people are going to know about all those things which were kept hidden from the public. Also, because Mars and Rahu forms an Angarak Yoga. And Mars is obviously the military. So our defense is going to be extremely active during Mahadasha of Mars. But because Rahu is also going to join, you will see that our military can face some issues. Especially because Rahu is in the sign of Taurus, which is the sign of Venus. And an important sign of Venus, which is Libra, is present in our 6th house. In the chart of India, you can open this chart you can find this chart anywhere and you can see that because of this, some problems can happen at the border also. In our borders, with our defense system, definitely some issues can happen because It is a classic rule in mundane astrology that whenever malefic planets like Mars, Rahu, Mars, Saturn, Mars, Ketu, they are conjunct or are in trine, are in 1/7 axis, definitely some major changes or some issues, or some challenges are faced by that country or that particular area. That happens. It has happened in the past also. So because Mars and Rahu are going to be in our 10th house, even though Mars gets good directional strength in the 10th house, it shows that our defense can become even far more active than the this is something that I'm saying, but actually this is showing that our defense system can actually uh, not listen to the present government. They can actually do things on their own, and it might not be we might not know this as the public, but yes, this can happen, and the defense system can take up things on their own hands, because obviously some issues are going to happen. And also, not just the dasha, in transit also from 23rd February this year only, Mars and Rahu are going to be conjunct in our 10th house in the sign of Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is the sign of large organizations, of masses, of technology, new age technology also. Rahu is already there. So, yes, when Mars will come, some new age technology is going to progress, and there's going to be advancement also. And there can be new government policies happening on, technology, and, or it can be artificial intelligence, or it can be, some major some changes can come in the government or by the government. Now, this also shows, because if you know about the Kurma Chakra in mundane astrology, well, the Kurma Chakra is very important in mundane astrology, and it shows, especially in India, it shows different nakshatra can represent different areas. For example, as this conjunction is going to take place in the Dhanishta, the Sadbhisha, and Purvabhadrapad nakshatra. So, actually, this is the northern and northwest region. So, which areas are going to be affected? Well, the areas which are going to be affected by this conjunction are the North Pakistan, Afghanistan, north part of Kashmir, and a part of Rajasthan near Jodhpur. As I said, something happening at the border, and Jodhpur is close, and Rajasthan is definitely close to Pakistan, and some insurgency is also going to happen in regions of Pakistan. Now, the next is the Satpisha Purva Bhadrapad Nakshatra and some parts of. So, this shows, roughly some issues happening in West India. Again, Pakistan is being seen here. Part of Kashmir, some parts of Punjab, Haryana, Uttaranchal, parts of northern UP are going to be affected because of this transit happening. So, what is going to happen in these areas? Well, basically, I don't want to say this because it's it's not a very happy thing to say, because but it is seen in history that whenever Mars and Rahu are together, some of the other terrorist activities also happens. So we have to be, I'll suggest from my side that be very careful, avoid any traveling from 23rd February, to actually full April. Don't travel, or especially don't travel to these kind of areas that I mentioned. Otherwise, there are issues that can happen, because obviously planets, if they are suggesting something, they're transiting, then events happen. The next transit that is going to happen is the Mars and Saturn conjunction in the sign of Pisces. Saturn is already there in the 11th house of India's chart, and Mars is going to join it from 6th April. Now, Mars and Saturn both are malefic planet. Saturn is already ruling our 10th and 11th, our 9th and 10th house, which shows the government, and Mars is also going to be there. So, a major conflict of the public with the government is going to happen, and it's not going to be something, which is like it can be ignored easily, but it will be actually a full kind of outrage, or a, total rage of public towards the government that can be seen. Now, this also shows that, there can be some policies that can be made with the other countries, and some networks, with networks forming with the foreign governments. That can also happen, because 11th house is obviously, in mundane astrology, it also shows that, obviously the connection with connection of a country with foreign countries. So yes, this can also happen. But yes, Mars Saturn also not a very comfortable placement to have. And then again, if I see the nakshatra, what kind of which areas can suffer during this time. So this shows the obviously the Uttar Bhadrapad nakshatra will be covered here along with the Revti nakshatra also. So yes, this shows that obviously again those regions of northwest India, parts of Kashmir, parts of then Pakistan is also included here. So definitely some issues can again if this can continue, war like situation can actually build up during this time. Now the other nakshatras that Mars is also going to transit here is actually the Revti nakshatra also. So yes, if I talk about the Revti nakshatra here, then also the same regions will be covered. But yeah, far more activity towards Arunachal Pradesh can also happen when actually Saturn and Mars will actually be together, from 6th April. But when Mars will be actually transiting in the Revti nakshatra, then you can see that some problems can happen in the Nepal, Sikkim, Bhutan, Arunachal Pradesh area, or in the Tibet, China region also. So both are borders of the, which are shared with Pakistan or with China, are facing issues during this Mars Rahu and Mars Saturn conjunction. And Kurma Chakra is giving a full indication here. And it is very important, element or sutra for decoding things in mundane astrology. So, this was of the transit that are going to happen. Now, another important transit is going to happen, which is the transit of Jupiter in the sign of Cancer in our 3rd house. And Jupiter is going to be not trine, but it is going to be, overlapping with our natal moon, which is in the sign of Cancer, Pushya Nakshatra. Actually, that is a time which can become better, from 2nd June. Some good communications can happen between India and other countries. And this also shows us Jupiter will definitely bless the 7th, 11th, and the from 3rd house. Obviously, it will bless the 7th, 11th house and the 1st house. So yes, it can show that surely things will improve from 2nd June. Not the 7th, not the 1st house, but the 7th house from the 5th aspect, the 9th house, and the 11th house. Sorry for my mistake. But yes, so definitely somewhere or the other, it is a very important sutra that when Jupiter is exalted in a country's chart, obviously it will be exalted for the rest of the world also, but because it will be exalted and overlapping our natal moon, so that is a good time when we can see some peace happening after this Mars Rahu and Mars Saturn conjunction, which is going to give some trouble. So definitely after that time, things will improve also because of Jupiter. And we can see that, the government can take some good actions for the betterment of our people. But I will not say that those actions will be actually very permanent, very temporary. But yes, at least we can see some improvement. But one more thing I would like to share here, that as Mars Dasha is going on for India, our public will now not rely on false promises, and they want the work to be done in the practical manner. They don't want to just talk about religion or casteism or all those things which, which people from many generations are, the governments from many generations are trying to fool us, but they will now know what they want and what they want to do. So if you like this video, share it and subscribe to my channel for more such informative videos on mundane astrology.